Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's assignment on SD hard drives versus the standard hard drives. I'm probably going to use SSD and HDD as the assignment requires. I actually have several tabs across the top where I did some research, and we'll go through them very quickly because we only have 15 minutes. But I learned a lot this week on this assignment, including how to properly use YouTube. I'm currently sitting in the lab at Fort Steilacoom, and I'd just like to thank them for all their help. They've been amazing the last 2 weeks in getting these things done. So let's get started. So one of the first articles I actually found and pulled up was PC World. I actually knew a lot about computers before 2005. And a lot has changed since then. But this one article did briefly go over the difference between your SSD hard drives, your solid state hard drives versus your hard disk drives. Okay, this was a really, very good article. To me, it was easy to read. I think that's what I like about PCs. It just made it easy to read. I also found another article here that's just specifically talked about hard drives. This one was Computer Hope, free computer help and information. I should probably check this one out more often. Another one that I found was LifeWire. It just specifically spoke on what is a solid SSD drive, and then it got into. I found one that talks specifically about what SSD drives are, and they're pretty, just like in our book, they're a lot. Like, some of them just go into the motherboard. They're a lot similar to what we had talked about earlier in a lesson. I can't specifically remember which chapter, but how you can get these peripheral devices to attach to like your desktop or your laptop. Okay, so those are the four. So basically with that, the similarities that I had discovered, I actually don't have it on, I had to write it down on a piece of paper. With the similarities that I discovered is that both of these, SSD and the HDD, have the ability to boot a system. They also have the ability to store applications and personal files. So your personal files, like your videos such as this, your photos, any documents, just a variety of things. They have the ability to store those things. Your projects, such as, like if you're a graphic designer, you have lots of things that you've created there. You need the storage to do that. And a hard drive or this solid state, they can do it. They come in various sizes. One thing that I was really amazed at is that hard drives come in terabytes now. But SSDs go a little bit bigger than Tetra drive, which I found is amazing. Also, that would be considered a difference, but they both can be costly. They're not always cheap, though hard drives are by far cheaper than SSDs right now, and I think that's just the state of how computers, I think, are going as of right now. They're not always cheap if you're on a budget. As a matter of fact, one of these articles mentioned that certain SSDs can drive the cost up for computers, or if you have a particular system going, it can drive the cost of that up. Hard drives and SSDs are both external, so you can get external hard drives. So that's what makes them similar. So that means you can pick up that hard drive and you can go and use it at another computer, and it gives you the versatility that you need to not just be stuck to your desktop or your laptop for that matter. When we get into the differences, though, it's obvious that the structural differences, the hard drives come with parts, not just the platters, but there's all these little discs and rotators, and I'm older, I wouldn't say the most but all, but I remember a record player, and it reminds me of a record player. So it's all these little components that, even though it doesn't touch the hard drive, it's constantly reading it. I like the professor's description of the hairs on a disk drive. It's a bunch of little kind of like hairs, and it's just reading it. So that's kind of neat. SSDs access data faster and use less power. So that's one of the things. When you have a hard drive, it's attached to a computer or a laptop. And with it being attached to a computer or a laptop, for that matter, you're going through like your operating system and all the files and everything that's on there, whereas you may not have an operating system on your SSD. So SSD is more reliable right now than hard drives. Reason being for that is because hard drives are still very volatile, or not volatile, but fragile is the word. Both I looked up were non-volatile. They can be both non-volatile. With the saving of data and whatnot, hard drives are connected to the computer, so they can be external, where you can take them with you, but they are also connected. They are part of what makes the computer click, so that is a difference. I already mentioned that hard drives contain your operating system, along with your files, your photos, your videos, your projects, your various things. When I think of a hard drive, also, I think of a desktop. Yes, there's laptops too, but I don't know. For some reason, my mind was just thinking desktop. Desktops aren't always that convertible. But yes, we all know that there are laptops out there as well. So, and then the last thing is even though I mentioned that they come in a variety of sizes, the largest size I've seen in a hard drive so far is a terabyte. I could be wrong. So that is a difference, whereas SSDs can go beyond that. And I've seen like the scale somewhere. I probably should have pulled that up on screen, but SSDs can go beyond a terabyte. So that makes a huge difference. So I hope that helped everyone out. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a great week.